Good morning. So this morning, thinking that we add threads to the gauntlet binaries. Some of what we found recently is very specific to having threads in a process. But I don't think we could replicate it by just using multiple processes. We actually have to have multiple threads in those processes. So, considering, let's see, here's our TXRX. So we initialize the child, but then our command loop needs to be able to send messages to a specific thread. We could, instead of having a IPC receiver of messages, have something that wraps a message that specifies which thread. So we receive something and then we send it to a thread, which is then also waiting for a message. So basically, this command loops becomes something that, well, really what a thread does. And could control how many threads. This had more in it. Hey, Mars. It's going to be a long day, mainly because you don't want to be at work. Yes. Okay. That's done. Um, we need threads. We also need some channels for those threads. Why is this in lib? This is only ever used in the other place. And load VFS, same thing. Yes. They're using the, at least this one. Alex, how are you? Haven't seen me in a while. It's good to see you again. I've been here for a little bit before work every day. Okay. Let's spawn a thread. What is that going to look like? So we want our thread. This is Helix. Yeah. This is the Helix editor. And I'm using Ghost TTY. I want to get back onto the features, but I know I need these tests. So I want to ensure that every little bug that I find, I have like a test that ensures I don't have that regression again. Spawn thread. Let's create that function. Spawn thread. We will return a result with a receiver, standard MPSC receiver of message. Now inside of here, we would spawn a thread, standard thread spawn, or builder. Name. Oh, we could give it a name. So we want on there. Can we only set the name of a thread? No hooks. Nope, that's nightly. Spawn. Hmm. On it. Let's call spawn on that. Then we give it. Oh. All right. Then we give it some music. Uh, what is this going to be? Spawn. We give it a function. Oh, we don't want that there. Okay. We are not going to keep the join handle, but we do need a TX and an RX. standard sync MPSC channel. Oh, a bounded channel versus unbounded channel. Okay. It's kind of backwards from, I'm not saying this is backwards, but it's different from Tokyo. It's the opposite. And that channel in Tokyo gives you the bounded version, and you have to ask for an unbounded version. Okay. Now we would respond with OK, TX, like so. One too many parens here. Now here, we would basically do something like this command loop. I'm going to rename it to thread loop. Let's just change it. Thread loop. And we need a TX here. We have two TXs, which is not good. Let's create a thread loop. Now what's this real quick? Construct sender. Oh, oh, that should be the sender. So we have our command loop and our thread loop. Thread loop is going to look very similar. Thread loop will have TX, which is the same as this result sender. Happens to be that. And an RX, which is different. This is going to be the Tokyo sync, no, standard sync PSC receiver. Now our result on this is going to be basically unit or standard error. Okay. Let's take that, put it in there. Good. If this thread doesn't receive anything for 10 seconds, it'll die off. If our tests take longer than that, yeah. Okay. Say its own. Why does this size for that cannot be known at compile time? Hmm. Let's look at this in larger form. Argo check, cargo check. This is mostly what we're doing. Sized is not implemented for dyne error. Why does it need to be sized? Required for that to implement error. Hmm. Is it possible for us to just say, you must be sized as well? No, because it's not an auto trait. It's a property of the type. Hmm. aliases are experimental. Hmm. Oh, um, because really we just need, we have to define a trait. Hmm. Trait from box IPC channel error kind is not implemented for that. Got it. Why is it even dealing with IPC error kind? As it's for every error type, or for every type. No, it's not. It's just the error type that is living in here. And this has nothing to do with the IPC bits. Let's go to the first error. All right. Internal mode, 25, seems like where we are. I thought there was some other type of error. Let's maybe be a little bit more explicit in what we're targeting. So here we could say, we're not doing standard error, we're doing string, like box string. So we've given it a lifetime of static. So it needs to be owned. Dang. Wait, where's the error? Wow. Okay. This is a different error. So having that as a trait just made it more complex. Non-standard error cannot be sent safely between threads. Send is not implemented for that. And this is on load VFS. Let's go to the top again. Okay, it appears to be here. We know that this is now called from a thread. Does this need to be these things, or only in certain places? Here, arguments missing. Find the. What if we don't return any sort of error? Okay. If we can't send the error back to the main thread, we just whine loudly. Yeah, if we can't send the error back, that just means that everything's shut down. Okay. Command loop. Yes. We'll get to you. All right. Back on track. Feels like I got a little distracted for a moment. thread 1, and we send our results. Tx. Okay. 1 and 2. Tx1, Tx2. So our senders for thread 1 and thread 2 that are started. We need to get this to our command loop. Now this Tx here is a result sender. Let's rename that. This is the IPC receiver. And command loop now needs to figure out where to send that stuff. So we'll give it Tx1 and Tx2. That's going to be a message. Yeah. And I don't know that we need the transmitter here. We'll see. Now, in this case, we have to wrap this message with some kind of thread identifier. Okay. So let's have something else. Can I describe which thread it's for? Could use some sort of enum or a little struct wrapper. I like enums here. I think that'll be nice in the API. Okay, so we have thread 1, thread 2. That's probably a bad name, though. Sure, thread message. No generics on that. And let's change this to thread MSG. So why not? Unreachable expression. Oh no. Unless this times out. I see that it's not infinite. Huh. That's interesting that it doesn't see it. Unless of course this is wrong. Returns a result. So it's right there. You can return. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? AM. That's my first thought. What? It's the time in Hawaii. Ah, there you go. Nailed it. All right. I mean, you probably mean 5 o'clock p.m. There it's almost 5 p.m. Well, good evening, Araga. Let's match this. I want the compiler to understand this. If we have some error, we return it. Oh, we need to return this. I feel like the compiler or whatever here, Rust Analyzer, knows more than me about this. I've learned to trust the tools. Feels like it's saying, oh, you're never going to hit 10 seconds. Mm. Hey, good morning. Good evening. Yeah. Okay. We do like a while let okay thread message equals this. There we go. And we're ignoring the error though, which makes me sad. There's our command loop. Where's our error though? It's right there. What? It's right next to message, thread message. Something is weird. LSP restart. See, here it's okay. Okay, Rust Analyzer got into a bad state. Weird. Okay, but is our logic correct? So with main, spawn a couple of threads. Each of those ends up running the thread loop. Thread loop. Each thread loop has a state and a connection where they can do stuff. Run the command loop, which really all it does is split messages and sends it on to thread 1 and 2. I would like to undo this and have it loop forever. So I think that was a better pattern and that we actually get an error message. Okay. No, you're just wrong. Oh, actually, it's saying that it knows this can't happen because the smallest duration that will cause the error is over 24 days. But isn't there IPC error? Right? Like there's other kinds of errors. So it's not because of the duration, it's because of the IPC that we get these errors, which makes sense. All right, I'm going to ignore that. Come back here. I suspect that it knows something more than it's telling me. And now it's saying no thread message in root. Maybe I have to write all the files? Okay, file is written. Command loop. Close that. Go back to the command loop. Gauntlet. Something is weird. The editor is freaking out. Okay. Arguments to this function are incorrect. You are correct. Because init child returns IPC receiver of thread message. Really? Okay, I missed something. Name. Oh, I typed it here. Here we want to, this is the return value. Server. Mismatched types. Ah, think I have this wrong. Yes, the second one, IPC receiver here, should be different. Second element in the tuple here, thread message Rx. If we work it backwards, Rx comes from there. Server is accepting thread message. I think if we get either ACK here, we would be okay. Thread message 1. Or thread message 2. Anything else, we panic. Okay. Okay. Everything checks out. Good. But now we have to change the test side of the house. So over here, say for at least this thread, what we were fixing the past couple days, we need to have one of the processes, the left process, because we don't need the right process in this test. It needs to have multiple threads that are opening and closing the same file. So how do we want to represent this in our I kind of want to have some sort of thread represented here on the left side. I want left process thread 1 db open to send a message. And in this case, we would have to, you know what? I think I made a mistake with the way I described the thread message. Because essentially, I want to be able to treat this as a property of the message and not as an envelope of it. If it's not the envelope, then okay, we need a different type of structure. Thread. So in this case, we have 1 and 2. Could instead have Something more like that. And then we use this. We have the thread ID. Okay, let's do that. No, that's fine. Spawn thread 1 and 2. Okay, command loop. Result sender. I actually want this to be red message now. So we are just going to. It's the wrong button. So our results will also know what thread they came from. Okay, that'll take a little bit of work though. Command loop. Yes. We have thread message. That is not a thread ID. It's a never type? You're kidding. IPC receiver of nothing. It's interesting that it's not taking the type hint here, but really using it from here. I understand that it works kind of bottom up sometimes. This feels strange. Okay. Now, if this is a thread message, we would match thread message dot. What was it? ID? Thread? We called it thread. Okay. So we split it up between the two types there. Start at the top again. Skipping these for now on state. Spawn thread. And this is also wrong. And we need the thread for the message that we received. Or we just need to be told what thread we are. Oops. Oh, I had my writing to file bit there. Okay. Import that. Oh, it's private. Okay. Let's not pass the name in. Pass the thread ID in. Let's just implement display on that. What? Cannot find derived macro display. Import. I did import it. A mistake. It's not a derived macro. Come on. Let's see. Impl standard format display for thread ID. Match self. No match arms. F dot right stir. Okay. Message does not implement that. Fine. Okay. If it's an ACK, we just say that's the right thing and return. Okay, one more. Hmm. And its child. There is no thread. It's the main thread? Why are we whispering? Oh, I don't know. I didn't sleep well last night and kind of stumbling through the code at the moment. Wow. It was I muted that whole time? Basically, I was saying that um, ended up playing Deep Rock Galactic way too late. 30-minute mission should have, the mission should have only been 30 minutes. Took us 3 hours. The procedurally generated cavern was massive and yeah, well, It was massive. Okay. Red loop. We need our ID here. I guess we have it. I'll change that to ID. It is early in the morning over there. I need to keep sipping the tea coffee before becoming, yes, before becoming loud. Absolutely true. Absolutely. And sometimes I just kind of drift further away from the mic, and sometimes I'm closer. So it really just depends. I'm much more aware of where the mic is when I've had more sleep. Message ID is thread ID. Message is that. Same thing here. Oh, a couple more. Let's see if we can do these at the same time. Message. Okay, good. Got it. Oh, that's so nice. Getting closer. What is it? Can I find it? Is that supposed to be ID? That's ID. Spawn thread. Okay, sender. That should be thread message. ID in this case is main. No. Reach-bound connection. sqlite error. It's not satisfied. Oh, I see. It gives us the connection back because it consumes the connection. Map error. On error. Error. Unused. Okay, fine. We get rid of it. unreachable. See, it's still wrong. Good morning. How are you? Oh, Kira. All right. So we have our command loop. This file is almost there. It's just wrong about this. Okay. Let's go back to our tests because now we actually have to send data that's representative of that. Where's our test? Here. Okay. So we load VFS. We say, hey, left side, load a VFS. For which threads? Oh, doing great, good. You have this stream on the side while you're working. Hope to learn one thing or two about databases. Well, Akira, this stream here this morning is more about us being able to catch regressions in our database kind of supporting library in our VFS. So tomorrow we are much more likely to be doing actual database data shuffling around. Okay, so now our VFS, sorry, our Gauntlet test suite is capable of receiving messages for left and right, and it'll receive messages that are specific to threads. So let's change this to thread message. We have to propagate this back up the stack. Yeah. This is going to be a big change. Okay, spawn child. This is thread message. Message dot sg. Thread message. ID is main. Message is that. I think when we spawn the child, we get the IPC channel. Let's go to the top of the file. Kind of work our way down here. Oh, good, good. Ah, yes, exit. Who do we actually tell to exit? Do we tell a thread to exit or do we tell the process to exit? I guess it could be any one, couldn't it? Oops. That guy Doru. Process. You don't want to die. I mean, we're making it optional. They can choose. Load VFS. See, I think in this case, we should be telling which process individually, which thread to load the VFS. Because there might be some edge cases where One thread loads it, the other thread doesn't. Right? What happens? In this case, one should become the default, and now we'll be able to actually test that. Let me put that as the first argument on many of these. Yeah. There, 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 here. Oh, no, no, no. See, I got that one there. It's trying to be clever. Okay. Thread message takes an ID, which will change all of these to have that. Message is that. And okay. All right, looks like we only butchered one, because this one was a little bit more complicated. Thread message. That should have been here. Oh, we're matching. Okay, yep. No, I should not have done this one. Now in this case, we're going to basically just copy, paste a bunch of these. This thread harness will make the project so much more stable than if it didn't exist. That's why we're putting so much time into it. Oops, missed a couple. Okay. Now, everywhere we call those is broken. Good. It's bubbling up. Shutdown has everything. Left, right. For load VFS, I think we should be able to have only one of the threads actually load the VFS. So in this case, we'll just pick one. All right, no, that was wrong. ID one. So the left one will always load it. Oh, and I put that at the wrong spot. I only did the last one. Okay. Now in this case, everything's shutting down. I think we should tell main to shut down, and it's main's responsibility to tell the others if it needs to. Wrong button. Get paths. What is this? I don't use that. Or rather, it doesn't take a thread ID. Okay, now the tests themselves, we have to be able to say which thread does what. Most of these, it's just going to be thread ones, right? So I'm going to start at the top here. Now in these cases, is this all thread one? I think it is. Nope, not main. One. And let's replace that. Much better. Doesn't take very long. This is good. Any more? Two more. Okay. Now, this one, we want to have different thread IDs on. So we tell thread ID 1 to open the database. Okay. It needs to set it to journal mode. Then we set thread ID 2 and we initialize the database. What this does is this causes some writes to it. I'm going to use thread ID 1 because that's what was happening in our tests. Well, in our other situation. Then we tell each one individually to close. Now, I want to see whether or not we get a very specific error message or log line. As cargo build and cargo test that no capture. I panicked. Oh, okay, okay. We'll have to fix that. Set file open. Close. See, we didn't actually get it here. It's such a timing issue. DB close, wall sync. Start copying content back from the wall log into the main database. Close the wall log. Set file open. Yep. Okay. We want the other half of that. Exit should be. No. Okay. Run it again. It only occasionally happens. Didn't happen again. One more time. Nope. Yeah, so we're getting our reads. We say, hey, close. That's thread one. Oh, yes, we actually display that twice. ID main exit. I doubt it's hidden by these crashes, but let's see. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Because we should be getting 2 wall log closes. Let's fix this. And this is for exit. We're targeting the main thread with exit. Command loop, yes. Exit. All right. All better. Early end of file. What's that? Oh, I think that's expected. Okay. Oops. I scrolled up too early. Now I have to scroll down. Seasoning. Yep. Salting the file. Getting a DB close. I wonder if I tell number 2 to exit first, close first. Let's go back to tests. So now 2 will close first, even. We might have to have 2 also generate some data. Set file open. Okay, result true. I'm looking for a result false, and it's not happening. Yeah, here's the close. It didn't do anything. It just frees the result. Oh no, that's the main DB. Yeah, 2 just didn't do anything. Okay, let's have 2 actually mutate something. Insert thread ID 2, not unwrap. There's true. Why? 10 seconds. Odd. What's going on? Why is this paused? Ideas 2. 2 got a database insert. Seasoning's changing. Net page. Now we're told to close. So this is 5300. 5300. Wow. Okay. File name 5300. We open it once. Do we open it a second time? We must here. And this one is 5DEO. We never see 5DEO close. Maybe it's this. This means that the test program went away. It's not an error. Shut down. We're not specifying anything anymore. Let's see if we get that now. Do we see or no? And now it's hanging. Interesting. It's almost as if it's waiting for something. Panicked. And we did not get shutdown message. One more time. Hanging again. Is that because of the logging? I want to understand this better. Why is shutdown not being called? We should be called. It could be that other things are destroyed already. That should not be the case. Let's rename telemetry to logger. Okay. And loop, thread loop, spawn, main. When main exits, I want to know. Something, some identifier there. We're not getting that. Oh, here it is. Oh, it seems as though we're waiting for something. What? Are we getting this far? No. Really? Oh, seriously, I've been muted. Oh my goodness. You guys should tell me if I've been muted. Basically, I'm just saying this connection here, we should be able to close it if we can open it. So somewhere else, we do a db open where we open a connection. We have one connection per thread, and we should be able to drop it to get rid of it. Or oh man, I would tell you if I'm going into silent mode. I am, if I'm not making a noise every 30 seconds or so, something's wrong. Um, hmm. So why would this pause? It's our thread logging level. It's a trace. And we see the, okay, we get a close for thread one, right? We happen to be printing these out twice. Once where the main process gets it, second time when the thread gets it. So thread 2 closes the process. It's 50 C0. And thread 1 is also told to close, but it doesn't call close on the wall log. This one succeeds, returning 0, success. The main database closes. Oh, it closed to the main database. That's okay. That's fine. They can each have a handle to the main database. Okay, which is why we continue to talk to it. These file IDs 8988 and E188 are different. Okay, so two different handles to that file. MainDB file control. It's doing some shared memory stuff. Weird. What if we didn't do close? Just want to see. If we just did shutdown. It still hangs. Okay. That's good to know. Received message. Exit. Shutting down test runner. Okay, for this channel. Got it. And for the other channel. Oh, wait. They're both shut down? Both test runners are shut down, but... Oh, maybe it's a problem with the test harness? Could be. We just cut it open and sewed it back together. All right. I'll try to look at that tonight so we can get onto the database pieces tomorrow. I should get going. All right, y'all. Hope you've had a wonderful Thursday, or you will. It is Thursday, okay? Let's see, who's programming in Rust today? Nobody. Just me. All right. Huh. We're going to read Christoph again. All right, y'all. Till next time. Bye bye.